Today we're going to be talking about Microsoft Dynamics 365 with quality control, including basic quality add-ons, material percentage breakdowns, cost control, and more. Hello Dynamics community, I'm Dave from Bond Consulting Services. One of our experts, Seetharaman, will be guiding you through the quality control module in Business Central. Let's get started.
Hello everyone. So this session is about manufacturing and quality module together. So production or manufacturing or assembly is a process of combining various material inputs to make a product. There are many types of productions or assembly. For example, mass production, any products produced in mass, large number of quantities and volumes. Flow manufacturing, cell manufacturing typically will be using it for fuel injection pump. Like electronic goods kind of industries, they'll have a cell, they sit together and then manufacturing it. Continuous process manufacturing, typically for a chemical process or a pharmaceutical process industries. Discrete, what you see in your eyes is a product, is called discrete. In chemical or process, most of the products you may not be able to see. Like for example, a pharmaceutical company, like you'll have byproduct, you'll not be able to see. Contract manufacturing, you supply all the materials and then a component is produced, they charge you for the charges or contract charges. Like for example, another subcontract manufacturing, you send the process or product to do outside processing, for example painting, anodizing, those kind of additional process, and then get the product back and then do the assembly. Machine assembly, like big machines, vertical machining center, horizontal machining center, lathe, those kind of machines, those companies also have these kind of production. They'll get the fabricated products and then they do the assembly, and many more. Next one, the key things for an assembly production is you have raw materials. You need raw materials for making the assembly or sub-assembly. So these raw materials, when it combines, all those costings get added to the next level, can be a sub-assembly. So all the cost that gets rolled up to the sub-assemblies, and those costs which are all there part of the semi-finished products will get rolled up to the finished good. So finally, the product finished good will have the cost which the product consumed, the raw materials and their cost, which will be the cost of the finished good. For example, computer or a CPU, central processing unit assembly, you need power supply, DVD or CD player, hard disk drive. Those hard disk drive might be a sub-assembly, like the hard disk drive will have chips, resistors, and so many small parts. So for making this computer, you need many sub-assembled parts or assembled parts to make the finished good. Consumption. For assembling or to produce a product, you need to consume the raw material. This needs to be followed at each part of subassembly or assembly. Total cost of components consumed will get rolled up to the subassembly cost, and this is called as material cost for making the assembly or subassembly. So this is the released production order. There are many types of production order in Business Central. Simulated production order, planned production order, firm planned production order, and then released production order. Normally, a research oriented company, they will simulate things. They will first work out which all the raw materials are required and get the cost. How much raw materials are required, what will this will be the total cost of the product to make that assembly or sub-assembly. So they will simulate, then plan. Then if the plan is firm planned, then they move on to the release plan. So I'm going to show you the release plan production. These production orders will be very similar to that. And the general tab is the fast tab. As soon as you select the general tab, it gets expands. You see the key fields, the number field, description, the item, the source type can be item, family, sales header. Three different types of source. One, the item. The item, do you want to produce it? Then you pick the item from the item master. If you select it, you'll get picked up from the item master. If you want to assemble as a family, like a power press components, which will have a similar design, which you want to select it as a family orders. For example, you see a family order for making one particular family or group of products. You can have the family order selected and then bring in all those products that you need to produce. So this is about the family orders. So these particular release production order will have the due date, requested due date. These are all the key fields, quantity. The line information will talk about which is the product which we need to produce. Here process, refresh the production order will bring in these lines, and this is the finished good or can be a sub-assembly or main assembly. For assembling this particular product, you need to have the bill of material components. So these bill of material components will get picked up based on the item masters or a bill of material which is set at the item master. And it will talk about how many products required, what is the quantity per piece to make this product, what will be the unit cost of the particular each raw material, which location this particular product or raw materials are consumed. Next one is about the routing. For making this production, you will be having the series of steps, stages to produce. So these are all the centers, work centers are can be a machine centers lined up to complete your production based on your start time and end time. Here the routing and the output, two types of routing, serial production as well as parallel production. Each stage of the production has a cost factor. These costs are called as capacity cost or a resource cost. When the output is posted, these costs rolled up to the finished good. For making a product, you need a raw material cost as well as the capacity cost, meaning the resources who had spent their time can be a man or a machine who had spent their time to complete the product. So it will be a combination of your raw material cost as well as the resource cost or a capacity cost. So this is about the consumption journal where the process used to consume your product. Prepare, calculate consumption by what date you want to post this consumption and then select the order you want to consume. Normally, a production manager or a production engineer who does this consumption activity by end of the day before completing the production or before completing his work or before leaving the office, he'll make sure which production order, how many components has been consumed. When I select this order, you get these information like each order. These are all the components. I have selected only one order, 600. And then these are the components that will be required to be consumed. What happens when the consumption is done? When the consumption is done, if you go back to the release production order, if you see the order statistics, you will see the statistics of making this particular product, the standard cost, expected cost, and actual cost. What are all the raw materials needed? The material cost captures this information. Capacity cost, like resource or man or machine, the time taken at each machine is calculated in terms of amount, then it gets added. If there are any products that need to be sent out for subcontract, then the subcontract gets added. Capacity overhead, if there are any direct or indirect cost, then it will get added over here. Manufacturing overheads, if there are any manufacturing overheads, direct or indirect. Normally a direct cost or a material cost, indirect cost maybe a labor cost or some in terms of percentage like 10% of your material cost or something. We can set it up. When the bill of material is consumed, Before consumption and after consumption, there are two scenarios. Before consumption, you will get the value of expected cost. When the consumption happens, all your cost, actual cost updated here in this particular field. So you will know you have planned for $82 and your actual cost is exactly equivalent to $82, then there will not be any deviation. If there are any more costs, like if the material has some breakage or issues, you get a replacement or you get more raw materials from the stores to make that particular product, then your actual cost will get added up. If there are any rejections during the stages of the production, then you may need to redo the process, redo the routing steps. Then you are taking little more time to complete the time, which there are some rejections. I have sent another material, then your capacity gets added here. Like that, your actual cost, if there are any difference between actual cost and expected cost, will be the deviations. There are standard reports to give out what is my variance. If there is a variance, your cost of variance will be captured separately in Business Central. You will be able to get a report out of it. So once the consumption is done, the next one is output. So here, once you select this production order, these are all the different stages of steps, and each steps has some run time, how much time taken. For example, the first steps, the unit of measure, capacity unit of measure can be minutes, hour or day, or whatever it is, can be a week also. If you want to register, I have configured it for minutes. So as mentioned, as each steps has some time, 10 minutes for the first steps, 15 minutes for the second step. So there are some cost. So you will have capacity cost for each minute or each hour, which can be set. The system calculates those capacity cost and then added into the production finished good material. When each step is complete, then the output quantity need to be added in which location this particular output is done, and then you need to post the transaction. Once it is posted, you will get the two information. One is your output is booked at each stages. Number two, you will also need to calculate the cost. So when exactly the cost is calculated? So in this release production order, when the production output is complete, production consumption is complete, then the status of this particular order need to be changed. Meaning your released order need to be finished. Your update unit cost has to happen. So all the raw materials has been consumed. Now all those consumption costs has to get rolled up into the finished goods. Once you do select yes, then your actual cost will get updated. Let me show you how this particular actual cost will look like in the finished production order. So this is the finished production order. As soon as the status changes, your release production order will get changed into a released finished production order. This will become a non-editable menu or page. You see as grade, it is non-editable. The information what you can see here is the statistics. Okay, the expected cost was 318.43 and actual cost is 318.43. Manufacturing overheads was estimated for 103.49 and your actual cost is 103.49. Similarly, so there is no variations, meaning there is no increase or decrease in the actual cost with the estimated cost, so exactly matches, the deviation percentage is 0. If you find any difference, then deviation percentage will get calculated, and then differences, those costs will get posted to the respective general ledger account, which is set in the posting setup. Capacity need, how many minutes which has been spent, is also viewed here. Is a process to inspect the product at various stages. For example, inspect a, inspecting a product when it is received from supplier or vendor is called a receiving inspection. Inspecting a product when it is in process or work in progress is called in-process inspection. Inspecting a product when the production is complete before it is moving to the stock, they do a final inspection, that is called a final inspection. Let us go into the receiving inspection part. The first step would be the creation of purchase order. When the purchase order is approved and released to the supplier when he is ready with the product to ship it to us, to the warehouse location. So there are two type of documents he normally provides. One is the shipment document, which will provide the details of which are the products he is supplying. Second, the bill, that is invoice from the supplier. In Business Central, when you receive a product, the inventory accounts, the stock gets updated. When the product is invoiced, your respective general ledger accounts and supplier accounts, payable accounts will get updated. So basically, when the product is inspected, normally which will be inspected before invoicing the product. As soon as the product is received, the quality team, the receiving team, will be at the receiving inspection area to do the inspection. They might do a sampling inspection or a random inspection or a planned in process inspection or receiving inspection at the entry of the product will be 100% inspection. When the product is having the different parameters, I will talk about the different parameters. When it is accepted, then the accepted product will be moved into the inventory, then followed by a invoicing the product. You're registering the financial transactions. When the product is rejected, your products will be undo receipt is done in the Business Central, and then the product is sent back to the supplier. So there is no financial impact. It is only the inventory impact that will be reversed in Business Central and sent back to supplier. Now, when the product is accepted, you're moving the product into your inventory. Now let's move. So here in the quality in process inspection, it starts with the production order. When the production order is created, you have sequence of steps. Each steps, at the end of each step, you need to do a in process inspection, or during the process in the stage, you will be picking up some products to do the inspection. The quality team will pick the product and do the quality testing. When the product is accepted, then it moves to the next stage, next step of the production. If it is rejected, there are two scenarios here. It can be rejected and moved to the quarantine section, or it can be sent for rework. When the action to the correct the process, then you get back to the production line and somebody will be doing the rework. So there are some additional time spent by the resources, which will be the additional capacity cost that need to be captured as a part of the process. So your capacity cost, additional capacity cost is also captured. So this is how the in-process inspection happens. Normally the in-process inspection is carried out for discrete product as well as chemical process. The next one is final inspection. It starts with the creation of production order. Then your complete production output is completed. The end of production. The quality team in picks up for testing. And once the testing is done, scenario is either accept or reject or rework. If it is accepted, the inspection product, which is there in the QC area, that is quality control inspection area, is moved from QC section to the store location. If it is rejected or reworked, if it is rejected, it will be moved to the quarantine, or if it is can be reworked, still somebody will do some additional work and get it certified. Somebody will do the inspection. Production manager or quality manager will come over there and then see the quality parameters and then they accepted it. Now let's see these things in Business Central, how normally it happens. So this is the quality control menu. There are specifications that's normally being carried out to do the testing. For example, if you see this is the product picture and you have the product number and description, item number and item description. Next one is the quality specification lines, meaning These product which you see on the right hand side will have different parameters to be inspected. Can be a flatness, parallelism, roundness. So those measurements have a testing method. You can have a different testing methods. You can set it up, and each testing method in terms of what need to be tested, like lower limits can be 20 microns to 30 microns. Your nominal value can be 25 microns. So each parameters or specifications can be a number or numeric, or can be a text or a visual. There are some stages where only the visual inspection is done. There are some stages where you need to measure what exactly the product specifications. So once the specification is set, then the team members, quality team members, will be doing the inspection with respect to these each parameters. The parameters can be in terms of number, or in terms of options, accept or reject, or can be visual. If it is in terms of numbers or numeric type, then you have the lower limit, upper limit, and nominal value. These specifications need to be certified before it is being used by the quality team. The quality team will not be able to see if it is not certified. They will be able to see only the certified one, which product this particular inspection parameters are set. Based on that, they'll be able to see it. Once the product is inspected, can be receiving inspection when the raw material is received, or it can be a finished good inspection. Normally, in process inspection may not need a certificate of analysis, but still it's possible to have certificate of analysis report generated. When the product testing is complete, where you have a standard report, certificate of analysis, showing the parameters, on what parameters it has been tested, what is the test start date, who tested it, test status, it is certified, what is the test document number. You see the test number, then what is the test quantity, unit of measure, quality measures, what is the testing method. Each method will have different specifications, and what is the lower limit, what is upper limit, what is the nominal value, the test value. So you have the nominal value, but still you have the test value as 30, which is within the limits of lower and upper control limits, and it is inspected on a specific date, and then somebody can certify it or sign it and attach it documents along with the shipment. If you want, any customer wants for that particular certificate of analysis, then you can do that. This is about the quality module. This is the homepage for quality module. You have all the list of modules which are available as standard and quality, which talks about the quality specifications, quality test. The quality inspection will be done based on lot traceability as well as a serial number, list of items. You can set it up for the quality, and the inspection you can do it while making the purchase receipts or before delivery or shipment. There are cases where if you want to transfer your documents from one location to another location, in between the company warehouse locations, some company will do a sampling inspection making the transfer receipts. So even those times the inspection can be done. And what you see is the headlines about the quality status. You have the action, quick action item. You can select this, go and see the quality specifications quickly. It kind of a small report. And here the activities kind of a cues, which will give you what is my current status of products ready for testing. It shows ready for testing 2. If I select this, it will take you to the list of products ready for testing. Then selecting this, you'll be able to get into the details. This is the header section. Different fields, test number, which product, product description. If there are item which is reference to a customer, the customer specific testing, yes, it is possible to do that. And each test status will have different status: ready for testing, in process, if the testing is in progress, ready for review, certified, certified with waiver. Meaning if there are some corrections, for example, the product is between the range 30 to 40 microns, and the product is just above the upper control limit, like 41 microns, then it is certified with waiver. So somebody is certifying it. So who is the authorized person certifying this particular certification? Still, product is good for usage and they allow it. So only the quality manager can have this particular certification done. That's what it is certified with waiver. If it is certified final, yes, that's done. Rejected or closed, it's closed for all. So these are all the parameters that you want to test it, different testing methods, and result type can be numeric, list, options. You can set the lower control limit, upper control limit. The next one is about the in process. How many quality test are in process? You have 3 qualities in process. Somebody is inspecting it. Let's open one particular testing and see you have the header information, all the required fields with item, customer, and then the parameters. It's called specifications, flatness, parallelism, roundness, surface roughness, waviness, and the unit of measure is microns, numeric 21. Microns is the minor actual measurements. Lower control limit is 20 microns, upper is 30 microns. The next one is about if there are products that is ready for review by the managers, it will be shown here based on the status what is set in the quality testing. If it is already certified or certified with waiver, how many got certified with waiver? It will give you a summary. Certified one, these are all the ones certified. Another queue about general where purchase orders when it is received and ready for receiving inspection, those information you'll be able to capture it here. If there are any products which is quarantined, this will be identified as quarantined. The quarantined product can be again identified for usage of production or raw materials can be taken it based on the acceptance of the quality managers or quality team, or the product can be rejected and sent back to the supplier. So it will be identified as a quarantine section. The next one is about quality test by status, like how many is closed, how many ready for testing. You'll get a complete view of your quality test status. Which are the items which I'm going to test today? So I can prioritize and set. These are the items I'll be testing it today, key items. So each page, home page screen can be set based on the needs of the quality tester who is going to use this particular home page. The report inbox. This is the another report where you have key reports sent in by email. There is a configuration, a job scheduler where you can set your reports, which report you want to send it into your inbox daily. The quality team can need the report of incoming receiving inspection every day. How many products is tested? For example, a manager needs a daily report. How many products has been tested in process? How many products has been tested for receiving? How many has been done for pre-dispatch inspection or final inspection? So they might need a report sent by email. So those reports, once it is set in the job scheduler, setting up a time can be daily or weekly, those reports will come into your inbox automatically here that you will see every day. These are all the sample reports which is coming in every day. I've set it up.
Thank you, Seetharaman, for showcasing the Dynamics 365 Business Central solution. And thank you, Dynamics community, for your attention. We hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to our channel if you want to learn more about utilizing Dynamics 365 to grow your business. Click here for our related videos. Utilize our website down below.